A newborn baby and learning? My goodness. A stress to a newborn 1 day old baby? That's what we get to know from whomsoever we talk to. The reality, which is not seen, what people are not aware of, is what a newborn baby can learn on day one. The capability is much more than what we adult can learn on a single day in our entire life. Yes, you heard it correctly. Whatever we learn, the quantum of those learning is much less than what a newborn baby can learn on day one or is learning on the day of birth itself. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. I, Hemali Gada, founder of Hungry Brain, I'm coming here with my researches that have been spread for more than 10 years in the area of the brain development and how newborns grow, understand the world, have their behavioral skills developed. So we're going to see some of the facts which could be an eye-opener for you. Some of the things you would have never ever heard of, never ever thought of, but they are very real. The major fact is that we believe that learning starts when baby could actually understand what is being taught. Like if you say this is mama, then this particular face looks like something and we name it as mama. This is what learning is. Some would say learning is knowing ABCD, alphabets, numbers, and so on. But when we go to learning, let's go to the dictionary meaning of learning. The dictionary meaning of learning is the acquisition of knowledge or skills through experience, study, or by being taught. So we are mostly focusing on study or by being taught. These are mechanical methods of learning. This mechanical learning can take place only when baby is able to understand what is being taught. But there is another learning which is actually hidden from our view, but it plays a major role. That's called natural learning. Now I'll put a question. Have you ever seen that a baby, a 1 day old baby, can understand that he or she is there with mother or with some stranger? How could you make that out? Obviously, when baby is in the hands of mother, she will stop crying. And in the hand of a stranger, there would be crying or some uneasiness. Now, this itself shows that baby can understand or discriminate between two different human beings. That this is my mother or a person with whom I am safe with. And this is someone else. Now, the capability of discriminating between two human beings is an outcome of what? Obviously, learning. But the fact is, we have always collapsed learning with academics. Academics or whatever is being taught in school is something which is pressure, which is like, oh, I have to do this. There's no joy left. Or there is a joy with more of burden, exams and this and that. I'm going to say something radical. Baby loves learning even more than eating or sleeping. Yes, baby loves learning much more than eating and even sleeping. But we are unable to understand that and unable to provide that. For us, learning or teaching is something which is mechanical. Now, how will we do that? So I explained you with certain things which you've observed over a period of time. Have you seen a 10-month-old baby or a year-old baby who crawls or holds something and wants to talk, wants to walk, would have fallen down, got hurt. It's painful, but still does not give up learning to walk. Child wants to climb up and up, or wants to open certain thing, or want to do anything else, will not stop even if we say no, we threaten them, we do whatever we do, but the child does not stop learning. But suddenly, the same child, when grows up, avoids learning. So one thing is very clear, that the baby is born with a love of learning, but over a period of time, certain things happen due to which that joy, the charm, the curiosity to learn dies away. And learning becomes a pressure, stress, oof, isn't it? So in this series of webinars, we're going to actually understand. And once you get it and you could put it into your practice, I can ensure that for your baby, learning will be fun for their entire life. Yes, just by following what I'm saying, you can have your child experience learning being fun, energetic. Wow, I want to learn. And it would be you saying, bus, let's stop learning now. Let's stop this. Wanting that future? Great. So we'll start understanding what learning is first. We've already seen the dictionary meaning of learning. Now we will see how and what learning happens to experience while in the womb. So while in the womb, which you've already seen in our previous webinars, Wonder in the Womb and the first 2 days of newborns, but I'll quickly go through that. Baby will listen the noise and smell and everything, and it's going to be there with a quantum of repetition, be there as a memory. Now this memory builds up associations, like the heartbeat of mother is an association of me being safe with the sound. This goes on and on and on. The smell of a mother goes on and on and on and on. And the day baby is born, it's like the whole world around. Oof! I have to breathe by myself, I have to take food by myself, excrete, and all those things. All those things happen biologically, internally, but that's a process of acquiring a skill. And that's what learning is. Acquiring a skill through experience. Experience of I'm not getting food from my mother, or I'm not getting automatically oxygen. I am acquiring a skill to breathe. And this learning is phenomenal. The hunger of the baby is so high, so high, so high that it could not be quenched. It could not be satisfied. But we can satisfy it to an extent. But what happens is, for a baby, a mother is a mother, a father model is a father model. But to understand, is it the same person? Again and again, those exposures in a particular way itself is learning. When we say learning for a baby, this learning has got a woven experience of emotions. What are the emotional experience that baby gets with learning? So when we say, when we have some particular sound ongoingly in the room, the learning that a baby gets with an experience of being safe is like, wow. When a baby is away from the mother and there are so much sound, and the learning says, I'm away from the mother, I do not have that safety, I have all the sound. Am I safe or not? And the learning says, this all loud noise is equal to me being away from mother. So loud noises are not comfortable. This is how learning develops in the baby. We believe that baby's job is to sleep and eat. But actually, you see, a 3-day old, 4-day old baby can actually recognize the mother by face, scenario, the environment, everything. This is all what learning is. We believe that what these babies are capable of, nothing. A newborn baby can hardly do anything. Yeah, you're right. A newborn baby can hardly do anything by itself, which what you and I can do. But what newborn baby can do is much more than what you and I do. They learn. They learn ongoingly. They learn to distinct each and every sound that they hear. They learn and observe and associate each and every image that they see. They understand and discriminate each and every smell they come across to. And all those things, when added with their experiences, form their behavior. What we do is we keep our babies safe. I'm not saying that we should not provide safety to our baby. Safety is utmost important, but that's physically being safe for the body, not getting exposed to certain environmental changes or certain situations which are hazardous for the body. But for brain to take in, baby wants to learn. We've got a question from Ankita Verma asking, how can baby learn before he can control his body? So Ankita, this is a very common question we've been getting across the globe. And as I rightly shared a few minutes back, when we say learning, learning is acquiring skills. And what learning you meaning is, learning is mechanical learning. So we go to our website in Hungry Brain and see even a 3.5 and a 4-month-old baby can identify between two cards. And now that's what learning is. So when we show them two cards and the baby and we ask them, out of this two, which is apple, and baby can hear apple, see the images, two images, understand the association and choose the apple as an apple, by itself is a demonstration that baby already knows. So now I am answering your question. What baby did by answering two cards is a demonstration of what he knows. That means that learning has already happened beforehand. So the skill of holding the neck, of holding the body, of taking the hand towards something else is also part of learning. Now the point is, we as adults believe or focus mostly on the physical needs and do not give what baby wants for the mental development. You know what we do is, as a metaphor, if imagine you're very hungry, extremely hungry and waiting for the lunch to be served. In such a case, if you get 3 biscuits and you eat only those 3 biscuits, what will happen to your hunger? It will neither get satisfied nor exist, but it will leave you with upset, irritation, getting a bit of frustration. This is what baby experiences. So baby's ideal is awake. That I'm talking about this 15-day-old baby, 20-day-old baby. He cannot move his body freely. He cannot crawl from here and there. But he can take in information. But the best time for when baby actually cannot move. Once the baby starts crawling, what is the most important focus on? Where do I put my hand? What type of texture is this? How much support will I need to put on my hands and legs? How do I move my body forward? Now, this all are the things where the brain is completely associated in. Do you see the focus on taking in information is reduced to a quite lot of extent? Now, once baby starts crawling, what comes next is walking. Now, while walking, what's the major focus on? Is it on taking in information, or how do I balance my body? How do I hold myself? How do I put my next step? And acquiring the skills on the and so on. So the right time to give an information, or the right time for baby to actually take in information, is the time when baby is not moving around. Yes, this is the right time. Now we come to the pressure. So I would, before we go to the pressure, we'll answer the questions. So people have already sent us few questions over the Google Forms. And this is from Krupa Desai. Does baby remember whatever he learns? Krupa, it's been years that you've been focusing on marks, how much we remember, and this is all information. Information is different from thinking. Thinking is a skill. Information is knowledge. Now, what baby actually does in those initial days is sharpening the skills. I see something, I remember it, I see something else, I associate it, and then understand the logic, understand how the world is. This is the room door which opens and closes. The moment it opens, I can see the drawing room. The moment it closes and again open, I can see the drawing room again for a baby. And when the same baby is in the lift, the door closes, the baby is at 7th floor, and when the door closes and again opens, it's ground floor and it's different. So for baby to learn and to understand is, how come one door is closing and opening? I see the same picture again and again. One door is closing and opening, this is different. Oh, I see a new door. Now what will happen when this door closes and opens? Will I see the same picture or will it be different? The more number of doors I see, it's more of question marks. And then some learning takes place, some associations take place. That when I enter into a room which is a small room, someone presses some button or something happens, there's some experience in the body of the lift going up and down. That's the time I can see different things. When the body is stable, everything is around, I can see big pictures, and the door is opened and closed. That's where I'm going to see the same image again. This is what we mean by learning at this age. And this is what babies don't forget. That's not taking knowledge. This is acquiring skills. And just because we've collapsed learning with acquiring skill with academics, we've just stopped exposing our baby to knowledge, information, learning skills, believing that knowledge is pressure. So in the next webinar, we will cover why studies have been a pressure, or how can we have academics being wow for learning. But today we're going to see here, as I shared, that what we teach to the child. In the entire Hungry Brain program, though there are 10 sets of flashcards or few word cards, but what baby actually gets is not learning those particular sets of flashcards like birds or fruits and transports, but a skill which is developed when I see something again and again and again, and with those repetitions, I've seen it, I remember them. I observe things, I remember them. Now it's just not stops here with remembering. I am even able to recollect and reproduce whenever is required. This is what young babies do. We'll take another question by Nidhi. Why we want to pressure newborns by teaching them? So Nidhi just shared a bit about it. More to come in the next webinar. But I will just answer your question in a way that what is pressure? When we say pressuring a newborn, pressuring a child, I'll start with Where does this pressure come from? Pressure comes from doing something which I don't want to do it. I don't want to study now, and I'm being forced to study. That's where pressure is. My friends are playing downstairs. I have to study. I don't want to study. Studying is so boring. One thing, blah, 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 blah. And number of repetitions. I don't want to study. And we say, no, right. One page standing line, complete. One line, sleeping line, complete. My hands are paining. What hands are paining? It's just one line. Mama, please. No, you have to do it. No TV without that. Oh, and I have to do that. Something that I do without my willingness is pressure. And in the upcoming webinars and the series, we committed that you understand how we how we introduce learning to our baby such that they demand, they ask for learning. They bring books to you and say, Mama, I want to read this book. Mama, I want to read this book. Mama, have this book. Just imagine how your life would be when your baby will not say, Mommy, I want mobile to play, but the child will say, Mama, I want to have this book. Purchase this book for me. Amazing, isn't it? What that day investment or the start is from the day baby is born, or when much before that baby can crawl, the state when baby is ideal, non-mobile. That's the time whenever you expose your baby to, it's like taking. So now we have seen what baby experiences or what baby learns with the example of food and the door. So the door opening and closing is what baby learns to understand the world around. Now when baby wants to understand everything, we hardly expose our baby to something. And this is the start of frustration towards learning. Ongoingly, if I do not get my lunch and I just get 3 biscuits, how my nature will become? Oof, irritative, frustration, anger, all sort of things. And why? Because I'm not getting what I want. And I will not want to eat also. Taking this metaphor to real life, when baby wants to learn, understand the world, and is not getting enough food, enough material to understand the world, it becomes very tragic for them. It's like, oh, it's so boring. Seeing the same fan again and again and again. No, it's when we see babies enjoying the set of flashcards with the hand and leg movements and the thrill and excitement they have, it shows the excitement, the love that baby have towards learning. You bring something valuable to them, something that they can understand, something for learning. It's like, wow, that's what I really want. And that's the truth of early learning. You give the learning to the child or to the baby when baby actually wants. It matters a lot. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube link, hungrybrain.in. See other webinars, the previous webinars and the upcoming webinars, which will throw more and more lights on how we expose learning to the babies. And stand with me for your baby, that your baby will experience learning being fun for a lifetime. Thank you.